Your paycheck lands. And for maybe 6 seconds, the number looks calm. Then next month walks in. The rent or mortgage gets a chair. The car payment gets a chair. Insurance, phone plan, utilities, subscriptions, minimum debt payments, delivery membership, storage, parking, and that one app you forgot about all sit down before you do. And the strange part is, none of it looks irresponsible. You are not looking at a shopping spree. You are looking at normal adult life. Bills paid on time. Services that make sense. Protection. Transportation. A phone that works. A place to live. Maybe even a few things that make the week less exhausting. From the outside, this looks stable. But inside the month, it can feel like your future self is being taxed before they even get paid. That is the contradiction. The bills that make you look responsible can also make you fragile. The false belief is that if a bill is normal, common, and technically affordable today, it must be safe. But a recurring bill is not just a bill. It is a claim on future income. That is the fixed cost shadow. Every recurring charge reserves a slice of a paycheck that has not arrived yet. And once enough of those slices are reserved, income stops feeling like freedom. A raise disappears. A bonus disappears. An extra paycheck disappears. Not because you made one outrageous decision, but because the baseline got too crowded. So this is not an episode about shaming normal bills. Some bills protect you. Some keep your household functioning. Some genuinely buy back time, safety, or sanity. This is about learning which bills deserve to own part of your future and which ones are just quietly collecting rent from a version of you who has not had a chance to vote. The rule we are going to use is simple. Before treating a recurring bill as normal, ask whether future you would still choose it after paying it 3 times. Not once during the moment you signed up. 3 times. After the novelty is gone. After the free trial is over. After the stressful week has passed. After the upgrade becomes background noise. If future you would still choose it 3 times in a row, it may belong. If not, it may be a quiet tax on your optionality. Let's walk through 10 normal bills that can secretly tax your future self. Number 1, subscriptions that became background noise. A subscription usually does not feel dangerous because it enters your life politely. A free trial, a discounted first month, a show you wanted to watch, a storage upgrade because your phone was full, a productivity app that seemed like it would organize your life, a membership that made sense during one specific season. The bill is small enough that canceling it feels like an errand, not a financial decision. That is the trick. Small charges do not need to be dramatic to become expensive. They only need to repeat. Here is scenario math, not a national average. If 3 small subscriptions add up to $45 a month, that is $540 a year. If 5 forgotten or half-used charges add up to $80 a month, that is $960 a year. The point is not that every subscription is bad. The point is that automatic renewal changes the decision. You do not keep choosing it. The system keeps choosing it for you. And future, you pays for a choice that past you made under completely different conditions. The emotional cost is not just the dollar amount. It is the feeling that your money has tiny leaks you cannot see. So the system is not be more disciplined. The system is a recurring bill audit. Open the last 2 months of statements. Write down every repeating charge. Do not judge it yet. Just make the invisible visible. Then ask the future self bill check. Would I still choose this after paying it 3 times? If the answer is yes, keep it without guilt. If the answer is no, cancel it, pause it, rotate it, or make it earn its place again. The status signal is not having every service. The status signal is knowing which services actually serve your life. Number 2, the phone plan that feels like infrastructure. A phone is not optional for most adult life. It is work, maps, banking, family, authentication, emergencies, appointments, and access. That is why phone bills are tricky. The necessary part protects the optional part. You may need a phone, but you may not need the exact plan, the exact device cycle, the exact protection add-on, the exact storage tier, or the exact premium feature bundle that got attached to it. This is how a normal bill hides a future claim. It arrives as one line item, but inside that line are different decisions. Need is one decision. Upgrade is another. Convenience is another. Status is another. Inertia is another. Scenario math. If an add-on or device-related cost is $25 a month and you have 18 months left, that is $450 of future income already spoken for. That does not mean the $25 is automatically wrong. It means it deserves to be seen as a future claim, not just a monthly annoyance. The phone plan audit is simple. Separate function from upgrade. What part of this bill keeps life working? What part protects against a real risk? What part is convenience? What part is old momentum? Future. You may absolutely choose a strong phone plan, but future you should not be forced to keep paying for a bundle that no longer matches actual use. Number 3, insurance that was set once and forgotten. Insurance is one of the categories where the answer is not simply cut the bill. Protection matters. Auto insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, health-related coverage, life insurance in the right circumstances, disability coverage in the right circumstances. These can protect a household from events that would be financially severe. So, the trap is not insurance itself. The trap is renewal inertia. A policy can be responsible and still need review. Coverage can be essential and still be outdated. A deductible can make sense one year and not another. A household can have overlapping protections, old assumptions, or a price that drifted while nobody was looking. The fixed cost shadow here is subtle because the bill is attached to safety, and safety is emotionally hard to question. But reviewing a policy is not the same as rejecting protection. It is asking whether the protection still matches the real risk. That review might mean keeping the policy exactly as it is. It might mean changing coverage. It might mean comparing quotes. It might mean increasing or decreasing a deductible, depending on your actual emergency buffer and risk tolerance. That is individual, and it is not one size fits all. The behavioral system is an annual protection review, not a panic cancellation. For every insurance bill, ask, what risk is this protecting? Would that risk harm my household badly? Is the coverage still aligned with my life? Do I understand what I am paying for? The goal is not the lowest bill. The goal is the right protection without stale autopilot. Number 4, utilities and comfort baselines. Utilities are another category that can feel untouchable because you need them. Electricity, gas, water, internet, heating, cooling, basic household function. These are not frivolous. But the amount you pay is often shaped by defaults, the thermostat default, the appliance default, the light default, the internet speed default, the habit of leaving things running because life is busy, the premium tier that made sense when you signed up but never got revisited. The hidden mechanism is that defaults become the baseline, and once a default becomes the baseline, you stop experiencing it as a choice. This is where shame is especially useless. Nobody needs a lecture about turning off every light, as if that solves every financial problem. The better question is, which defaults can change once so future? You benefits repeatedly. A thermostat schedule. A lower internet tier if it still works. A reminder to compare providers. A power strip for devices that drain energy. A laundry or dishwasher routine that uses less without making your life worse. This is not deprivation. It is default design. If the household baseline went up slowly, it can come down slowly too. The future self bill. Check here sounds like this. Would future me choose this same comfort default 3 months in a row if I had to actively approve it? If yes, fine. Keep it. Comfort has value. If no, change the default once, then let the new default work quietly for you. Number 5, car costs beyond the payment. The car payment gets all the attention because it is the cleanest number. But a car is rarely one bill. It is payment, insurance, fuel, maintenance, registration, parking, tolls, repairs, tires, cleaning, and sometimes interest. If you live in a place where driving is necessary, the car may be part of staying employed, safe, and connected. So, again, the point is not cars are bad. The point is that the all-in monthly claim can be much larger than the headline payment. A $350 payment is not a $350 transportation life if the real monthly ecosystem is much higher. That specific number is an illustrative example, not a national average. The lesson is the structure. One visible payment can hide several linked obligations. This is how future you gets taxed, not by one line, but by the system that line brings with it. The diagnostic is, what does this car require from future me every month, even before I drive anywhere for pleasure? If a car gives you access to work, family, safety, and independence, that has real value. But if the vehicle choice itself is stretching every future paycheck, the car is no longer only transportation. It has become a fixed cost anchor. The status reversal is important here. The impressive car is not always the one that looks best in the parking lot. Sometimes the impressive car is the one that does its job without owning your next raise. Number 6, minimum debt payments. A minimum payment can feel like control because it keeps the account current, and paying on time matters. But a minimum payment can also make the present feel handled while the future remains pledged. This is one of the clearest examples of a future self-tax. Past purchases become mandatory claims on future income. The purchase may already be gone. The dinner is over. The emergency happened. The trip ended. The appliance is installed. The holiday passed. The dental work was necessary. The car repair got you back on the road, but the payment remains. The issue is not moral. Debt can come from emergencies, timing gaps, medical needs, job loss, family obligations, or simple human overwhelm. Shame does not pay a balance faster. The useful question is, how many future paychecks are already pledged to old decisions or old emergencies? That question turns anxiety into a map. For credit cards, personal loans, installment plans, or buy now, pay later obligations, write down the minimum payment, the balance, the interest rate if applicable, and the number of separate future claims. This episode is not individualized debt advice. The right strategy depends on the details. But the fixed cost shadow is visible the moment you see that every minimum payment is a piece of future income that cannot go to savings, flexibility, rest, or opportunity. Paying on time is good. Getting future you unpledged is the larger goal. Number 7, housing add-ons. Housing is usually the largest adult bill, but the headline number is not always the full number. Rent might be one number, but then there is parking, pet rent, trash service, storage, amenity fees, utilities, renter's insurance, application fees, renewal fees, or moving costs. A mortgage might be one number in conversation, but the real housing life can include insurance, taxes, HOA dues, maintenance, repairs, utilities, furnishings, and the cost of staying in the home. The trap is not having a home. The trap is comparing housing by the cleanest number instead of the total monthly obligation. This matters because housing add-ons feel normal once you are inside the decision. A little more for parking. A little more for storage. A little more for the pet. A little more for the building feature. A little more for the location that reduces commute stress. Some of those may be absolutely worth it, but future you pays for all of them together. The future self bill. Check here is, would I choose this total housing stack 3 months from now, or am I only approving it because the headline number feels manageable? This is also where source context matters. Housing costs, mortgage rates, and home prices can be checked against official sources like Freed mortgage rate data and FHFA house price data when making specific market claims. But your personal margin still comes down to the total obligation in your own month. The rule is simple. Do not compare homes by the prettiest number. Compare them by the number future you actually has to live with. Number 8, convenience services. Convenience is not the enemy. Convenience can be what gets you through a long day, a difficult season, a childcare crunch, a work deadline, a health issue, or plain exhaustion. The problem starts when convenience is priced as a moment, but behaves like a pattern. One delivery order is a meal. A repeated delivery habit can become a food system. One rideshare is transportation. A repeated rideshare pattern can become a monthly baseline. One service fee is annoying. A stack of service fees can become a quiet claim on future income. Scenario math. If convenience choices add $60 a week during a busy season, that is $240 in a 4-week month. This is illustrative math, not a claim about what anyone spends. The point is not to ban convenience. The point is to decide which convenience is worth protecting. Some convenience gives back more than it costs. It might protect your health, your time, your family bandwidth, or your ability to work. Other convenience is not really convenience. It is stress leakage. It is what happens when the week has no plan, the fridge has no backup, the calendar is overloaded, and the easiest paid option wins again. The behavioral system is to pre-decide your convenience lanes. Maybe delivery is for one specific night. Maybe rideshare is for safety. Maybe a paid service is for the week you travel. Maybe prepared food is part of a realistic budget during a hard season. When convenience is chosen on purpose, it can support your life. When it renews through exhaustion, it quietly taxes future you. Number 9. Adulting memberships and identity bills. Some bills are not really about the service. They are about the person you hoped the service would help you become. The gym you meant to use. The professional membership that made you feel serious. The course platform for the career pivot. The meditation app. The meal plan. The premium productivity tool. The subscription box for the cleaner, fitter, more organized, more successful version of you. This category is emotionally delicate because the intention is often good. You are not trying to waste money, you are trying to improve your life. But the aspirational self can become expensive when the actual system does not exist. A membership does not create a habit by itself. A course does not create a career change by itself. A tool does not create focus by itself. A subscription box does not create identity by itself. The hidden mechanism is hope converted into a fixed cost. And hope deserves better than being auto-billed. The rule here is, pay for the system you use, not the version of yourself you imagine. If the gym is part of your real weekly routine, keep it. If the professional membership creates real opportunities, keep it. If the app genuinely helps you function, keep it. But if the bill mostly creates guilt every month, future, you may be paying for a promise that past you never turned into a system. The future self. Bill check makes this honest. After paying it 3 times, do I feel supported or do I feel accused? Bills that support your life can stay. Bills that mostly shame you should not get automatic access to next month. Number 10. The raised baseline after a raise. This is the biggest one because it hides inside progress. You get a raise, a bonus, a better job, a tax refund, a side income month, or an extra paycheck, and for a moment, life feels like it should get easier. Then the baseline rises. One new subscription, a nicer plan, a higher car payment, a better apartment, more frequent convenience spending, a membership that now feels affordable, a storage unit because there is more stuff, a few upgrades because you finally can. Each decision may be reasonable by itself, but together, they absorb the raise before it becomes margin. This is why more income does not always create more peace. Income can rise, and optionality can stay flat if fixed costs rise at the same time. Here is illustrative scenario math. If a raise adds $400 a month after taxes, and new recurring commitments add $320 a month, only $80 of new margin remains. The raise happened. The future barely felt it. Again, the exact numbers are not universal. The mechanism is. The future self-tax becomes most dangerous when every improvement in income becomes a permission slip for new obligations. The behavioral system is to quarantine part of every income increase before upgrading normal. Before the new raise gets absorbed into the checking account, decide what percentage or dollar amount goes to protected margin. Emergency savings, debt payoff, retirement contributions, a sinking fund, or whatever fits your actual plan. That is general education, not individualized advice. The sequence matters. Margin first. Upgrades second. Because if upgrades go first, margin gets whatever is left, and often, nothing is left. Now zoom out. These 10 bills are not really 10 separate problems. They are 10 doors into the same mechanism. A subscription renews, a phone plan bundles, insurance drifts, utilities follow defaults, a car becomes an ecosystem, debt minimums pledge future paychecks, housing add-ons hide behind the headline number, convenience becomes a pattern, identity bills charge the aspirational self, raises get absorbed by the new baseline, different bills, same shadow. The fixed cost shadow says, future income is available only after past commitments have been paid. That is why a person can make decent money and still feel trapped. Not because the income is fake. Not because the bills are all foolish. Not because the person is broken. Because the future has too many automatic claims. And this is where the status reversal matters. The old status signal is having every normal adult upgrade. The better plan, the newer car, the full subscription stack, the nicer apartment, the convenience layer, the memberships, the services, the signs that life is progressing. The new status signal is different. The real status is fewer bills that own next month. The real status is being able to handle a surprise without panic. The real status is saying yes to an opportunity because your baseline is not choking you. The real status is being able to change jobs, move, rest, help family, start over, wait for the right decision, or leave a bad situation because your life is not packed edge to edge with recurring claims. Margin is not boring. Margin is power you can use later. So, here's the system. First, list every recurring bill. Not just the obvious ones. Every automatic draft, minimum payment, installment, membership, plan, add-on, fee, and convenience subscription. Second, label each one. Need, protection, convenience, status, inertia, or debt from the past. A bill can have more than one label. A phone plan can be need plus upgrade. Insurance can be protection plus inertia. Convenience can be support plus stress leakage. Third, run the future self-bill check. Would future you still choose this after paying it 3 times? Fourth, act based on the answer. Keep what clearly earns its place. Renegotiate what is necessary but bloated. Downgrade what is useful but oversized. Rotate what you only need sometimes. Cancel what survives only because you stopped seeing it. Fifth, protect margin before adding new fixed costs. This is the part that changes the future. Because one-time spending can hurt, but recurring spending changes the shape of your month. A one-time purchase is a point. A recurring bill is a line. The line is what future you has to live under. Imagine two people with similar incomes and similar lives. Person A adds normal bills whenever they feel affordable. A little more plan. A little more car. A little more delivery. A little more membership. A little more housing add-on. Nothing outrageous. Nothing that looks reckless from the outside. Person B still spends money, still enjoys life, still pays for convenience sometimes, still protects the household, but they treat recurring bills differently. Every new recurring charge has to pass the future self bill check. Every raise gets some margin protected first. Every quarter, the bill stack gets reviewed. 1 month later, the difference may be small. 1 year later, it is visible. At the first emergency, the difference feels emotional. At the first opportunity, it feels like freedom. Person A may ask, why do I make more now but still feel trapped? Person B may not feel rich, but they have room. Room is what lets a life change direction. That is the point of this entire episode. The hidden cost of a normal bill is not only the amount due today. It is the future choice that disappears when the bill renews without a fresh yes. So go back to that payday scene. The paycheck lands. The bills walk in. But this time, you can see them. The rent or mortgage is not just housing. It is a total housing stack. The car is not just a payment. It is an all-in transportation claim. The phone plan is not just necessary. It is necessary plus whatever got bundled into it. The subscription is not just small. It is small times recurring. The minimum payment is not just current. It is future income pledged to the past. And once you can see the fixed cost shadow, you can start shrinking it. Not all at once. Not through panic. Not by pretending every comfort is weakness. By choosing deliberately. The future self. Bill check is not a punishment. It is a pause. It gives future you a vote. And sometimes future you says, yes, this bill protects me. This bill supports me. This bill gives me time or safety or real value. And sometimes future you says, no, this bill belongs to an older version of my life. That is the quiet reset. Fewer bills that owe next month. More income that becomes margin. More choices still available when life changes. The normal bill stack was never just about money leaving your account. It was about how much of your future was already reserved. And now you know what to watch. Not just the price, the shadow.